All right, let's get canceled in a different fashion this time. Oh, okay. Listen, there's a lot of activism out there that we know of. We're just kind of going over some. We're reacting to some of those. Very, very interesting. This time, in order to continue the controversial stream going, we're going to talk about fat activism. Fat activism. There's this girl, JaeBae. She's a fat activist, and apparently she's having a big downfall. And I kind of want to go over it. I kind of want to go over the downfall of this person. Oh, okay. But let's go over this one. Let's do this one now that that's all done.
What started with innocent makeup reviews quickly spiraled into a plus-size clown show as JaeBae petitioned for wider hallways, stronger elevators, and bigger airplane seats. However, her downfall into delusion seems to have all come to a head in the past couple of months, as JaeBae has found herself thrown into prison.
She's in prison? I've seen her. You guys have probably seen her like TikToks and whatnot.
When I looked into the life of JaeBae closer, I found delusion, begging, hypocrisy, and honestly, so much worse. But it wasn't always like this, and JaeBae actually started out with pretty standard content. Jalen Chaley officially started her YouTube channel named JaeBae in 2019, and it was a far cry from her fat activist content. And she actually started out doing just standard makeup and fashion reviews. But obviously,
there's nothing wrong with having a community. You got your little community. It's nice to be somewhere with people like you. It's nothing wrong with having a community. Enabling bad behavior, that's bad.
With her plus size twist.
Hey guys, thank you so much for coming here to my channel. I'm so excited to share the products that I have that I'm going to unbox for you guys today.
It is a big community, you're right. It's huge.
Jalen introduced us to her channel. The first thing that sticks out is her breathing tube, which is surprising to see considering she's just 22 years old when she posted the video.
That's sad. That's really sad. Cause fuck, I mean, if you're that at 22, are you making it to 35? Fuck. Needing oxygen at 22 is normal. You're right, but most of us are able to do it without equipment.
And it reminds me a bit of Penny from My 600 Pound Life, who was never seen without her breathing tube, despite actually nothing being wrong with her. JaeBae also expands on what she does for a living, or maybe closer to what she doesn't do.
I haven't really addressed it, but right now I've been going through some health issues for the past few months.
And those health issues are pretty clearly related to her weight, as she has recently revealed that she weighs over 500 pounds.
That's 22. Fuck, that's brutal.
And this massive weight is something that's become a focal point of her content, as she started to realize that her clothing videos weren't getting the views that she wanted, except maybe the lingerie try-ons, which I won't be showing here. JaeBae decided to pivot slightly, and we can see the seeds of this idea when she uploaded her video titled Fat Shaming Story Time at the end of 2019, and she shared her stories of...
Okay, this is where things get a little controversial and things get a little confusing, right? 23 pounds per year of age, yeah. My dog that eats everything is exploring a messy room. That's making me a bit nervous. That's why I gave her a brand new bone before I started stream so that she could be distracted. I might have to go get her muzzle since I'm not able to watch her full on. But Caleb, have you looked in the mirror lately? I have, and that mirror and scale says down 16 pounds. Let's fucking go. I'm obese from a technical standard. I'm a few pounds away from being overweight technically. This is morbid obesity. Very different scale. If we're comparing me to 500, that's more than double. So, but either way, this is where, it gets a little controversial. Thanks SLS for the membership on YouTube. Fat shaming as a term, right? Fat shaming. I don't like the idea of if someone is fat or morbidly obese, going up to them and being like, just random person, whatever. You're disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't like that. That's not productive. That's not helping anyone. And that is what I would qualify as fat shaming. I don't like that. I'm a little cheeky to people on the show, but they consent to it. They give, we ask their permission, blah, 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 lots of all that good stuff. So that doesn't matter. Now, however, what often people like, and what I'm guessing JaeBae, based on the content I've seen from her in the past, say is she considers a health professional saying morbidly obese people do not live as long as fat shaming. And that's where you're a fucking moron and need to shut the fuck up. That is not fat shaming at all. That is just basic medical advice, because it is then counterproductive to tell people it would be damaging to someone's life if you go to the doctor Or if she asks me, hey, do you think I'm healthy? I wouldn't say yes to be nice. It would be a disservice to say that. Now, I'm not going to go up to her randomly and someone that doesn't know her and be like, you're a fat fuck and that's disgusting. No, that's fat shaming. But to lie and say, hey, this is not healthy is counterproductive. Exactly. I don't think being on an oxygen tank is healthy. I completely agree. And not only that, there obviously are different reasons why someone might be on an oxygen tank, right?
A lot of fat shaming, drug addicts, guns, gun violence, gangs, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I had lots of family members tell me I wasn't going to be shit. I wasn't going to ever graduate high school because neither of my parents graduated high school. My mom had me when she was a teen, so I was told I was going to be a slut and have 2 kids by the time I was 7.
That sucks, and I'm sorry. That sucks. I'm sorry.
17 years old. I was going to live off welfare. I was going to be just terrible, terrible for my entire life because of the people that I came from. And I heard this stuff.
She told us how she has been put down her entire life and really put her victim mentality on full display. But the roots of her...
Which I can kind of see, right? I can kind of see if you were put down your entire life, those are the people that certainly... Well, a lot of the people who were even like serial killers and stuff, like they had horrible parents that just fucked with them their entire life.
Her fact activism
Blame
was
X for not
starting to
blocking.
grow as she shared this delusional monologue, which feeds into the healthy at every size movement.
I have had people...
Yeah, healthy at any size. Any size doesn't help anyone. This person's 22. The video is about their downfall. I guess they're in jail now. You've probably seen them on TikTok, social media. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But fat or healthy at any size, I mean, that's just an objective lie. That's not fat shaming. It's harmful to tell people that they're healthy if they're morbidly obese or even obese, even overweight, unfortunately, honestly.
Say all kinds of stuff, tell me all kinds of things, and I prove them wrong.
I don't think she went to jail for being fat. Well, we'll see. I don't know.
Size does not determine health. Skinny people saying, judging someone's health by what they look like, how big they are is ridiculous because what about people who smoke? What about people who do all these different things that are...
Yeah. And we say smoking's bad. Haven't we done like heavy ad campaigns against that and implemented sin tax against it?
Healthy, use drugs, drink alcohol every single day. Just because you are skinny does not mean you are healthy.
No, but if you're morbidly obese, you are not healthy. Well, I'm confused. What is she trying to say?
Size does not determine health.
Yes, it does. Not as a blank statement. You're right. You can be skinny and unhealthy, but overall, if you go to a doctor's office and they talk about what's the first thing they do in a doctor's office? Check your weight, blood pressure, temperature, height.
It's dangerous for a person who's over 500 pounds to deflect this much. By saying her size doesn't determine her health because smokers are unhealthy is honestly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when she's admitted herself that she has health issues and literally needs a breathing tube so she doesn't suffocate. Eventually though, she started leaning more and more into this fat activism, and although this is where she gets most of her popularity from, it's also the reason she became infamous in the plus size community. And it all started with a single video. Before we get into that though, it's important to realise that JaeBae started to lean into fact activism not to be just part of the movement, but because those views equaled money to her.
Yep.
As she explained herself.
As a plus size content creator, I have a different set of challenges than other creators do, but I have still made thousands of dollars being a content creator, and I would highly recommend getting into content creating if it's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, I agree. Make content. Preferably not killing yourself, though.
Every day I get tons of questions about how I work with brands, how I find different brands, how I've made thousands of dollars as a content creator, and so on.
So as these videos gained views, although it gained her hate, brands actually wanted to work with JaeBae just because of the views and ad revenue. However, as we'll see, not all of these viewers were positive. Now with that in mind, JaeBae posted the first of her videos which went mega viral, and that was about plus size travel.
Plus size travel tip. The Boeing 787 and Airbus A350 are the most plus-size friendly aircrafts.
Okay.
This 6-second TikTok got over 1.7 million views alone, and from that point, Jalen saw dollar signs and decided to go all into her travel TikToks and videos. Videos about her travel tips gained hundreds and thousands of views, and she shares how different airlines operated and how they treat fat people.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's fun. It's a way to make a living, I guess.
Okay, so Alaska Airlines has a similar policy to Southwest Airlines, but it's a little bit different. Alaska Airlines does require that you buy 2 seats ahead of time if you do not fit comfortably in one seat.
Yeah, that's a fair policy. That's a fair policy.
And the comments on this TikTok weren't exactly positive, but they're about to get a lot worse, as one of Jalen's videos went mega viral, picking up nearly 7 million views.
People tell me every day that I shouldn't be allowed on a plane because of my size.
You can be on a plane, just buy double seats and specifically purchase which seats you want.
I'm here to remind you your size doesn't have to hold you back.
Some of the
I mean, it does in terms of how long you'll live. I mean, for example, life expectancy reductions for people who are morbidly obese decreases by 8 to 14 years compared to individuals with a healthy build. People morbidly obese face a 50 to 100% increased risk of early death. 1 in 5 deaths among U.S. adults aged 40 to 85 can be attributed directly to obesity. What do you have with morbidly obesity? Higher chances of heart disease, cardiovascular conditions, stroke, type 2 diabetes, cancers like colorectal, breast, pancreatic, kidney, liver, ovarian, respiratory diseases such as sleep apnea. Well, she already has a breathing mask in. Well, she's not a breathing mask, but a breathing thing there. So, yeah.
comments were absolutely brutal, claiming that this should be a wake-up call, mocking her weight, and people hoping she paid for the extra seats. Whether it was these brutal...
I don't know about the mocking the weight, but it should definitely be a wake-up call, that's for sure. I mean, if you're having to pay for an extra seat because you won't stop eating, that should be a wake-up call. No, it could be comfortable at weights over 200. That doesn't make sense. People over 6 foot, natural weights are around 200. Even for someone my height, like over 200 is in that overweight area, not even obese yet. I don't think that makes sense, but I'm sure someone her size wouldn't be comfortable at 200 because I don't think she's that height.
Comments or airlines not giving Jalen free seats. JaeBae started...
She shouldn't have free seats. She should pay for it. It's weird that she would get special privileges.
To feel as though the world was against her. She even talked about how plus-size people could survive flights, as if getting into a plane was a life-or-death scenario, and shared her next viral video, which gained 17 million views.
Things that plus-size travelers hate. When the tray table can't come down. Worrying about asking for a seatbelt extender.
I mean, this should be, as other commenter said, a wake-up call. Should it not? I'd say that's a wake-up call. So...
Having little to no room to move. Narrow aisles and bulkhead seats. Tiny airplane bathrooms.
I'm sure, but it's catering to 98% of the population, right? Like, this is something you did to yourself. I'm sorry.
Worrying you're going to break the toilet.
What?
Getting pat down because you're fat.
Because you could be hiding something in the rolls? Is that what we're suggesting?
Tiny airport chairs with armrests.
And the comments were brutal yet again.
Yeah, the rest of us enjoy armrests. 98% of us shouldn't be able to enjoy it because you can't stop eating. I'm sorry. Come on.
But they were about to get even more brutal as JaeBae started her first petition off the back of these videos.
So I wanted to make this video to talk about everything related to my plus-size travel petition. I am advocating for policies and measures to make air travel more comfortable and accessible for plus-size travelers. My petition is based on personal experiences of discrimination.
I am obese, barely, but this is morbidly obese. I'm not advocating for changes. I don't have to, I don't struggle getting anywhere or doing anything. I'm down 16. I'm close to not being obese from a technical BMI standard. Though my BMI is usually a little off naturally, according to pretty much every doctor I've gone to, just because I have a lot of natural muscle.
Discrimination and discomfort while traveling by myself and with my partner, who's also plus size.
Now I understand why she wants the elevators to be able to carry more weight.
We have faced hateful comments, disapproving looks, and even refusal to sit next to us because of our size.
That's not unfair. I'm sorry. If you're going to be hanging over your seat and a fucking flab is pouncing onto my face, like that's not my fault. Why should I want to be able to sit there? Yeah, she's looking for a fight. Exactly. This advocation's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
Treatment of plus-size travelers is absolutely unacceptable, and urgent action is needed to protect the dignity and rights of all passengers, regardless of their size.
Jalen launched her petition, which at the time of recording has around 40,000 signatures, which laid bare her unrealistic demands. The first of these demands, which honestly isn't too bad, is just for flights to have a customer of size policy for tall people, disabled people, and of course, morbidly obese people.
Hold on. Yeah, but you can't control being tall or disabled. That's not fair. Hold on. Wait a second. And even obesity, sure, when you're morbidly obese, even if you actually work hard to become not obese, it might take time. But for fuck's sake, a diet is something you have much more control over than being, well, tall, who would have thought, or being in a wheelchair. What the fuck is she? This isn't okay. And if a company wants to do a policy like this, then sure, let them. But to force it from a national standard, it's fucking crazy.
However, the next item on the list is where it gets really strange and controversial, as she demands that airlines must give morbidly obese people a free seat.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Not a chance. Fuck off.
Or even multiple free seats.
Oh, fuck off. You got there, pay for it. It's not our responsibility. Because then if they have to do this, that means the seats are more expensive for everyone else, right? In order to make up the cost, which means her bad life choices are then subsidized by us.
They don't spill over into the next chair. Many people have said that this is frustrating, as why should an obese person get an entire row to themselves just for free? Surprisingly, some airlines do actually have a similar customer-sized policy, and it's led to some extremely shocking news stories. In 2023, a woman booked up and paid upfront for her flight from Montego Bay to Baltimore, where she was traveling with 2 teenagers. However, an obese person needed an extra seat, of course, for free. This led to the woman and the 2 teenagers being kicked off the flight in
What? How is that fair in any way whatsoever? That's fucking crazy.
order to make room for this obese woman who had not paid for the extra seat and had not told staff that she needed an extra seat beforehand. This is where the fat activism starts to break down, as you get situations like this in order to prioritize the obese flyers. 3 people, 2 of which are teenagers, who had fully paid, had to be kicked off the flight in order to accommodate 1 person. I don't think it's controversial at all to say the obese person should have been the one to get kicked off the flight and wait for the next one, especially as they didn't book 2 tickets. And JaeBae supports this exact policy, even bringing up Southwest Airlines, who are the culprits in this case. Customer-sized policy.
Southwest Airlines sets an incredible example by prioritizing passenger well-being by offering a free second seat or reimbursement for the purchase of an additional.
American Airlines, fuck off. You stranded people that bought tickets in another country because someone there was too thick and couldn't control themselves. The fuck are we doing? They can buy the extra seat. At least give the American Airlines better put them up all nice and reimburse them. The fuck are we doing?
For comfort and safety of those needing extra space, and reduces discomfort and health risks associated with cramped plane seating. Southwest Airlines' inclusive customer size policy should serve as a model for other airlines, encouraging them to accommodate plus-size passengers and eliminate discrimination.
Jalen didn't just stop at airlines and their policies, and her downfall into delusion was just beginning, as she began to suggest that hotels were being fat-phobic.
And that's where this is wrong. I agree. Let's not walk up to someone that we don't know, that didn't ask for, and be like, you're disgusting. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That is fat shaming. Saying that, hey, 98% of our infrastructure doesn't have to revolve and be subsidized by everyone else because of your choices. Or saying that, hey, it's not healthy. That's not shaming. That's not shaming. Come on.
And I really wish I was joking.
These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests. In guest rooms.
See, why do we not get to enjoy armrests as the 98% of society because we didn't fuck up our lives? That's not fair. What are we doing? And it's not exactly. Why is it it's the company's problem? It's not. Now, if a company wants to do this, that's fine. But having like a fucking force in a company to, or going and advocating for some kind of federal or state regulation, that's not fair.
Lobbies and common areas to accommodate different body sizes and types. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity.
Yeah, but it's really funny when they collapse. Isn't she in jail? I think so. That's what this is alluded to. But that'll be at the end. I don't know why. I haven't heard it.
Along with providing reinforced chairs and wider backing facilities. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices.
Mobility devices, sure. It's not their fault. Elevators are usually pretty wide. So we're, what? Hold on. There's already like regulations on how wide hallways need to be and whatnot for fire safety and whatnot. And it's totally fine. What the fuck is she talking about? Exactly. I like armrests too. I vote to keep them as well. Arrest her now. I think she's in jail. I just don't know for what yet.
Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets.
But there are in handicap rooms, and if you're handicapped because you're morbidly obese and made bad life choices, get the handicap room.
Adjustable handheld shower heads and raised toilet seats for added accessibility. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume if you have a business, you want your business to be nice to everyone. I mean, it may be the one only fair point she brought up.
The list of demands gets crazier and crazier, and her saying that hallways and elevators need to be wider is just absolutely...
Good point. Aren't armrests? I lost that. Aren't armrests could be important for elderly people to get up? That's true. But haven't you thought about her desire to have more McDonald's later? I don't think you considered that fact. It's very selfish of you.
Insane. I've never walked through a hotel hallway and felt like I needed more room, so I'm not sure how wide you have to be to feel that way. Commenters on YouTube had different points too, such as how her raising the height of toilet seats would be absolutely disastrous for people who have real disabilities. As a wheelchair user, raising toilet seats is one of the most inaccessible things they could do. The issue is though that Jaelyn has now gotten herself so large that she does need a wheelchair too, and even uses a mobile.
It's so sad to see it like 23, 22. It's crazy.
Mobility scooter, which of course was gifted to her by a brand. Now it's safe to say public perception towards JaeBae has been turning negative for quite some time, as her victim mentality, defensive crazy policies, and unrealistic demands became more and more unhinged. However, what came next was about to make her previous antics look tame. In May of 2024, Jaelyn took a break from her usual bragging of her paid-for holidays and took a more serious tone, as she uploaded a video of some apparently disgusting discrimination she had faced in SeaTac airport. Basically, JaeBae...
she's like the one trans woman that literally goes out to record to become offended. She's only going out to find something for her content. She's not actually trying to live a good life.
Requested to be pushed in a wheelchair, but after seeing the sheer size of Jaelyn, apparently the employee refused and walked away. And in February of 2025, Jaelyn talked about it again with a plan for action.
Familiar with my experience at SeaTac where they refused to push me in a wheelchair. You saw that video, and they were...
Yeah, I mean, you want accommodations, right? In the federal government, I assume, knowing you, that, yes, Lily Tino, yes, that's the person I was talking about. But... like, if you're advocating for protections for disabled people and whatnot, that means an employee shouldn't be denied being hired because they're disabled. So what if that employee was disabled and they literally cannot push 500 pounds? That's not fair.
Refused to push me because I was too fat. And they had absolutely no consideration for my physical health, my well-being, my needs. None
They're probably trying to not push 500 pounds.
of the above. Well, I thought maybe I was the only person that happened to experience that, and it was just something that was really uncommon. And then I talked to someone incredible in our community, and they're a much smaller fat person than I am, and they experienced the same damn thing.
Jaelyn talked about how they had no consideration for her size, but commenters on the TikTok were quick to point out the hypocrisy, as Jaelyn had no consideration for the employee's well-being.
Yeah, exactly.
Even stating that they legally may not have been allowed to push over 400 pounds. But Jaelyn did not relent and continued on her rant.
Yeah,
Never had a bad experience with SeaTac. We would love for you to come out and be part of the protest. Let's show them that they cannot treat people like this. They cannot treat anyone like
Your people are not getting up to go protest. I'm sorry. Good luck.
this, and they cannot treat fat people like this. This is unacceptable, and it's discrimination, and it will not be tolerated any longer.
I don't know if it's discrimination, is it?
So if you want to be a part of this protest, DM me tonight, DM me tomorrow, but let's go ahead and make it happen. We will be at SeaTac Airport Tuesday, February 4th. If you want to protest at SeaTac in solidarity with me, come on by. If you see me at SeaTac, please come up and say hello.
So Jaelyn had spoke to countless people who had had the same experience of discrimination, and who were also outraged for the situation they'd been put in. She had planned a huge protest in retaliation, with all the people in the plus-size community to come down and make their voices heard. Jaelyn
It's true. We should remove mirrors because they are fat shaming and discriminating.
uploaded this call to action and gained 140,000 views with support from the comments and her community. So February
On TikTok, that's not that much, I'll be honest.
4th rolled in, and so did Jaelyn at SeaTac Airport, and she kick-started her protest. However, she was the only attendee, holding up a
No shit. Come on. The other people would have had to get there.
lonely sign all alone in a pretty deserted airport. People in her comments weren't exactly supportive either. Why should someone risk physical injury to push you?
Yeah.
So you're really expecting the average person to be able to push your entire body weight when you can't even walk or get yourself around due to your body weight? Things were heating up for Jaelyn. The entire internet was having a bit of a pile-on, and her videos were more popular than ever. But, like we've seen, it wasn't exactly positive attention. Now, I don't agree with flat-out bullying, but
No.
I think it's important to point out the flaws in Jaelyn's arguments and question why we should accommodate obesity more than other disabilities, and
Yeah.
why should obese people have priority over average-sized passengers, like we saw with the Southwest Airlines story. Now, I'm sure the pressure of the internet was taking a toll on Jalen's mental health, as no matter how mentally strong and confident someone can say they are, everyone has a limit. Put that alongside her failing physical health due to her size, the cracks would inevitably begin to show. Now, if you are someone who wants to make a change to your physical health, I'd highly recommend signing up to the Fat Loss Kitchen, where every Friday I'll send you a high protein, low calorie meal I'm trying to lose weight so far. Sign up quick so you don't. Now, back to Jalen. These cracks showed sooner rather than later. And on the 23rd of February 2025, she posted this video.
Can we go back to looking at Sydney Sweeney? What the fuck are we doing?
To her Instagram, showing her crying in the car, videoing her feet, and what seems to be her throwing up into a bag. The caption was even stranger too, and she's actually edited it so we can't see what was there in the first place, but it now reads as follows. I am now safe. My perpetrator is going to be served. I have a chat with the police department number. I am safe and his family, and what they have done to me will be exposed.
Did someone fucking give her a medium fry instead of an extra large? What the fuck is she freaking out about?
And I'm not threatening anyone, but that's what God has told me to do. Now, it's not clear what was actually wrong with Jalen.
They forgot to fucking put the sauce in the bag.
Except in her bio, she states it was abuse and sepsis, but what she did share was a GoFundMe for people to help her with her journey to healing and safety, as she put it. I don't know why the first thing she does is make a GoFundMe, especially after bragging all over Instagram and TikTok about how she gets free holidays and makes thousands of dollars as an influencer. To me, this is a completely ridiculous thing to do, and people agreed. One person commented that her post was dramatic, and JaeBae actually threatened them with legal action if they didn't remove that comment. But it gets even worse.
Oh fuck, I love to sue a motherfucker, but what the fuck? It's a bit exciting. Was she gonna use her GoFundMe to sue that person? Good luck.
JaeBae DM'd another person and continued to insult them, laughing at their physical appearance and even threatened to get them fired from their job, all because they liked a comment calling her dramatic.
That's
It's completely ironic that JaeBae, someone who's advocated for the rights of fat people, completely broke down at someone, and the first thing she did was laugh at their physical appearance, and in my opinion just showed her true colours as an absolute grifter. She doesn't care about the greater good or making the world a better place. She only cares if she can make money from it, and if someone tries to stop her from making money, she actually attacks them. Unfortunately for JaeBae, the real trouble was still yet to come, and she would soon face the consequences for her actions. On the 3rd of March 2025, someone on Reddit posted some breaking news. We were tipped off to JaeBae being arrested. Charges include a Class C felony, and her charge sheet wasn't looking good. 1 count of misuse of 911 system, 1 count of resisting arrest and obstructing law enforcement.
Resisting arrest was them just not being able to get her to move. And she was probably trying. But misuse of 911, she probably got a mean comment and dialed. Fuck's sake.
And finally, 1 count of assault and criminal trespass. Honestly, I'm impressed that her nearly 600-pound body could carry all of these out, and I can't wait for the body cam footage to be released. Now, I'm no expert, but I think the assault charge being felony Class C is quite a big deal, and ChatGPT told me that it could lead to a prison time of 3 to 10 years and fines of up to $10,000, which JaeBae will surely beg for money to pay for. At the time of recording this video, JaeBae hasn't posted any updates since this incident, but has kept the Venmo and Cash App links on her profile, so we can only assume she's still in prison and cannot afford the bail. JaeBae is the prime example of a fat...
That's fucking crazy, man. Let's see. What led to the arrest? According to Reddit user reports, man, JaeBae was arrested on around January 26, 28, 2025, facing multiple charges: criminal trespass. I don't even know. Assault in the 3rd degree, resisting arrest, obstruction, interfering with a healthcare facility, misuse of 911. Only the assault 3 and resisting arrest charges remain active. The most recent updates. She was mandated to undergo a mental competency evaluation in Washington State. She's been declared mentally incompetent and transferred to inpatient psychiatric care. What the fuck? She remains in custody in either jail or the psychiatric facility despite being eligible for bail. Bondsman reportedly said around $2,500 has been posted. No one's even fucking bailing her out? That's for $2,500? What the fuck is going on? Does she have nobody? That's fucking crazy. Possibly due to her mental health status or lack of financial resources. I'd assume the latter. But if she's really trying to go for something like fucking insanity or whatever to get off, maybe it is the mental. Exact details of the alleged assault incident aren't publicly documented, and official court documents haven't been publicly released yet. So we're kind of just going off of some things on Reddit and stuff, which isn't 100% perfect, but certainly interesting. That's fucking crazy.
Activism grifter. As
It
soon
is sad.
as she realized she can make money from travel videos, posting rage bait online, and get rewarded while doing so, she lent into it even more, causing her worldview to get more and more twisted and delusional. She kept her victim mindset throughout, causing her to pay the ultimate price and lose all respect of the internet. Now, if you want to see more influencers who are part of the body positivity movement and met a very predictable end, click the video that's on your screen now, and make sure you sign up to the Fat Loss Kitchen.
Fan influencer just died 2 months ago. Maybe we'll watch this. Maybe we'll watch this at some
It's
point.
a leading cause.